not an individual effort, which is kind of what you saw on the opposite side with a lot of the players struggling. Taimou finished at 11 and 16, 12 and 17 for on-screen. Pyth was pretty much silent, as 9 and 15 was his final score in that second map, excuse me. So now we move over to Ascent. Team Taimou starting on the attack, and there's the character selection change, the agent change. Reyna now in the mix, as we see a bit of a shift here. The breach no longer brought into play from Team Taimou.
Still, the Reyna will be a little bit of an X factor for Team Taimou. A little bit more standard, though, across the board, but very interesting. I like the Sova pick here on Ascent. Can make things a little bit interesting in gathering information. Still, a lot of recon bolt arrows to be discovered. The map's still relatively new, and quite honestly, the game itself is in relative early days. So now we'll see how Team Taimou on attack. Ex6TenZ, of course, picking defense to kick us off. And the pistol round is officially underway.
Taimou getting aggressive here in mid, heading towards Pizza, pushing all the way up. They're now making their way in towards the fruit and veg. You've got pipsoN around the corner as the breach spotted by the owl drone. pipsoN has to back off. That means all of the pressure is now going to be on the Cypher. Backside sight. You've got the Brim trying to come through. Pizza as well. That was Ex6TenZ getting dropped by Happy, who was watching that. The Lear's going to come out. And yet again, you've got one backside. Kryptix gets spotted by the recon dart. Great pistol round take coming in towards the B site from Team Taimou. luckeRRR trying to bring it back for the squad, but it's a 3-on-4 post plan.
And you know, it's one of those things where, as an attacker, you dream of winning the first round because you, at the end of the day, want to start things off early and not let the defense run away with any rounds. The retake already underway. A couple of shots ringing through. soulcas and pyth, the dynamic duo, getting those shots to connect. And soulcas switching off of the Rays, giving us a little taste of the Reyna. And those R's are really going to be working into their favor. First round going over to the attack, and as the defense, you hate to see it.
Team Ex6TenZ, we mentioned it. They had that momentum coming into this map. They had the heart in it. After a strong win on that second map, they were down at one point. I believe the score was 7-1. They ended up turning it around and picking up the victory. Here they're going to have to face off against the SMGs and the Bulldogs, and maybe even a pistol in play here. pyth's going to be the one who's just favoring the Ghost. Pure pistols coming out. pipsoN does spend a little bit more. There's the first peek. AmandiiNee does great damage to pyth, who has to kind of wait back just a bit for the heal to come through. And that will happen. So pyth's back up to full HP. The armor's been stripped. On-screen's back behind the boxes. pyth, though, gets the best of AmandiiNee in the second exchange, the second battle. Happy spraying away with that SMG towards Ex6TenZ, and now the A site's been lost and compromised. Happy goes for a reload at an inopportune time, punished as a result. There's the molly coming in, also not working out so well. On screen in the meantime has lurked onto B. pyth's up in the window with just a pistol, and this is actually proving to be a somewhat bad round here for the attack. On screen, who was lurking on B, is now alone in a 1-on-2.
Really have to say Happy pushing way too aggressively. Now down to the 1v1. Sova versus Cypher. It's going to be down to just double-digit HP numbers. Kryptix going to be the one that gets taken down by on-screen. Relatively close for Team Taimou, and considering they forced up, means that their economy not going to be in really the greatest of shapes. It's going to be random weaponry across the board. One going to have a Vandal. I'm going to assume everyone else locking in a couple of SMGs. On the opposite side, Ex6TenZ, they're fully kitted out, or at least relatively a couple of light armor buys, but still, they'll be better off than Team Taimou.
Camera goes down to spot the aggressive play. Ex6TenZ, though, gets there before they can do much about it. But there's the punish. The follow-up on that play from pipsoN results at least in a trade back for the defense. But pipsoN is now running into that A site looking for cover as he is very low on HP. Will get the heal from Sage and get brought back up to full. The stage on the other side was taken out of play. So the Brim, who's a little bit dinged up, going to have to work with less. That's the Spike carrier who's now trying to join soulcas, who is on that Reyna play, which is interesting. soulcas has played the Rays in the past, so I'm interested to see We'll check the scoreboard after this round. Who's playing what, just to see how the selection stacks up. Didn't even really pay too much attention to that outside of initially. So we've got pyth, who's playing Cypher. That's normal. Happy on the Sage. On screen. So everything's pretty much the same. Taimou on the Brim. On screen on the Sova. And soulcas there on the Reyna. Okay, so I don't know why I got confused there. But, yeah, regardless. 3-on-3, 30 seconds left. They're trying to work their way into A, even though they met early resistance there.
Gonna be the push in here towards A, but little do they know, Team Ex6TenZ, they're all ready and on the site. Huddled up here towards Heaven, already a couple of kills traded back and forth. Now down to the 1v1, Kryptix versus soulcas. And with the window down, has the opportunity to push up, and he's gonna go in aggressively, but it's Kryptix that denies that spike and denies the round, giving one over to the defense, something that they desperately wanted to put back on the board. And now for Team Taimou. Luckily for them, they've got a 2-round buffer already starting to bode in their way, but now that the defense is online, I predict that that will really start to balloon round after round. They don't have the weaponry this time around, or do they? We're seeing a one-way from Kryptix, a very interesting one at that, to give him some space on the B site.
luckeRRR with the off in mid, looking for the jump. There it is. Nice shot over top of the box. soulcas went for the jump peek, trying to get that intel, that information. The only thing that he's found out is what it looks like to be a spectator in Valorant. 5-on-4. Wouldn't be too upset if you're soulcas. That's exactly what we do. We're spectators in Valorant. You can do that. There's something to be said about that. But the Reyna is down. The ult from Reyna not going to be a factor. They still have got the Sage ult, though, so they could go back and res mid if they wanted to. But likely want to gather up some control of mid in the meantime.
It's been relatively slow moving for Team Taimou. Ex6TenZ will find one. A quick trade back over to pyth using the Bulldog to great succession. The operator is in play. luckeRRR will be at the helm of the weapon, finding a kill for himself. Now down just 2 for Team Taimou. It's Happy alongside pyth. They'll grab that spike, but it's going to be a tall task in the 2v4. They have control of mid, but from there, where do they go? Where do they come from? Regards to Cotton Eye Joe. Now going to be looking towards A this time around. The door is still wide open, but there are 2 on the site looking to defend.
I was waiting for it. I was hoping you would finish the line. There's the satchels coming out from the Raze. The wall goes up to try and gain access to the site. A late take coming in towards A. Currently, they're trying to get in. They have to deal with Breach, who's currently underneath. Not able to spot the spike. pipsoN just not looking the right direction. Back behind the generator is Happy as the plant goes in. The ice going to slow things down, but Happy from back behind the generator. Now in a 1-on-2 as AmandiiNee gets a little too aggressive. Tries to take things into her own hands. luckeRRR rounding the corner with the operator. Slowly but surely inching their way towards a round victory here for Team Ex6TenZ.
We'll get that spike defused, and I really have to tip my hat over to Frankie for coming into the chat and saying to not eat dogs. The chat's been going a little crazy today, but thankfully we have the police is in check. They're ready to keep chat in check. Now moving on to the actual round at hand, round number 5. It's 2-2 apiece, and Team Taimou still have the weaponry to play, and they'll continue to do so, but still have a long way to go if they want to start to extend their lead. And on the attacker side, it's going to be difficult. So we'll see how they end up panning out here.
I really like this one-way from Kryptix. I want to see it in action. As the timer ticks down, the spike is back towards B, but that's not too uncommon. The camera going to take out the bomb buddy. pyth keeps it up, and the Roomba going to continue charging forward, sweeping its way towards the camera before detonating. On screen, right on the other side of the box in mid. Waiting for that smoke to fade. Here's the, excuse me, that's his teammate with the iPad coming out there for the smokes. The Brim on Team Ex6TenZ back much further. pyth gonna have to deal with that flash that comes out. AmandiiNee a little bit more overzealous with the play than you like to see. AmandiiNee goes out, and it doesn't work out so well. Rolling Thunder is going to get popped by the Breach over on the A site, but on the B site, they're likely to get tasked with a push in just a second. You can see the Cypher now going back into spawn to deal with this mid aggression coming out from the attack. soulcas walks right into Kryptix, but the push is going to start coming in over on B. They're going to start to challenge Kryptix. There's that cage and how it comes through. So it's a double stack, tall cage. You'll be able to see the feet underneath. luckeRRR using that wall to have some cover and watch towards the fruit market to see if they decide to push.
So far, so good. It's still the 4v5, but the resurrection, or sorry, the 4v4, but the resurrection will make it a 4v5, and the defense a little bit split. They've got the mid control. Now will they push in towards this B side? The jump through from Taimou will not bode well for him. The cape has fallen, and now the defense gonna be cleaning up here, but so far so good, and it's a huge heroic jump for pyth. They'll have control of the B site, and now it's all down to pipsoN. All on his lonesome. The rest of his team fallen by the wayside. The graveyard is full, but will he join them? So far holding on to the Phantom, backing away, and it's looking like he's gonna save the weaponry. Team Taimou gonna have their lead here. Not something I feel like we really could have expected on the attacker side, but so far so good for them.
The dismiss from Reyna to get away from that fight inside the site works out nicely there for Team Taimou. As soulcas escapes the damage, and his team continues to aggress towards the site. Both teams at this point, again, tied at 1-0 in the groups. The winner of this, very likely to be the #1 seed coming out of groups, as these two teams on paper are the strongest teams currently in this group. 7-4 currently for luckeRRR, 0-4 for Taimou, the op counterpart on the attack, playing the Brim versus the Sage. But here is the op coming out again here for Taimou. We'll see if maybe Taimou can dial it in a little bit better. The buy coming in from the defense, not exactly fantastic. pipsoN's got the gun from the previous round, the Phantom, but there's pistols for everyone else, including a shorty coming into the mix.
All right, Team Taimou. Keep it on lock. You've got the round lead. The defense is looking to stop your push, and this is a great attempt here now. Already down AC. They're going to use the showstopper as well. Blinded by the light, but still will send it flying. Won't connect with anyone, however. The orbital strike will, and Ex6TenZ will be the one that makes it rain from above. Still, the rest of the team are about to feel the wrath of AmandiiNee, but unfortunately, she will back away, send the Roomba for information, and they'll walk away with one quick kill.
Even though the ult didn't actually, find the finisher, damage was dealt that allowed the molly to do the damage. So what's weird is here, B site completely undefended. They started to favor mid a little bit more. The Cypher going to get spotted by the recon dart. The B site is now gone, and a retake is almost impossible. That B site's so hard to get into on the attack, but as hard as it is for the attack to get in, it's just as hard for the defense to come in and retake, especially when it's a 5-on-4 with pistols brought to play. We'll see if they're going to be able to somehow crack that difficult nut to crack. They try to make their way in. As they do, the door gets shut. The ult's going to get popped. The Hunter's Fury coming out. No connections as of yet. Only one hit. And it was late there as AmandiiNee kind of walked into that final strobe of the Hunter's Fury. They're still on site. The recon dart about to go down. Might be able to spot a few players. Lear comes out from the Reyna as well. They still haven't moved. They need to get into this site. The ult's going to get popped on the backside of the site, except there's no one there. And now they start moving in. The damage almost connects there with soulcas, but it's actually pyth to bring things to a one-on-one. pyth did the damage. soulcas can't find the follow-up, but it doesn't matter. Enough time has ticked off the clock. It's an expensive round win for Team Taimou.
Yeah, they have to be happy about that. We've seen time and time again how defense can really pick apart the offense when it comes to this map. And so far, Team Taimou have been leading that charge and have already started to build up themselves a little bit of a round lead. It's 4-2 on the scoreline, and they're looking to continue that pressure. Of course, Ex6TenZ coming off of an eco. They've got the weaponry to play this time around, but let's see how they use it, as it is Team Taimou looking to push towards mid. A lot of pings are coming out, and there are 4 members ready to fight for it.
pipsoN went past the smoke in mid initially, just does a little bit of a jiggle mid control for the defense. Ex6TenZ really wants to pick up a round win here, so they continue that push in mid. They've got them kind of sewn in here. I love this position from the Rays. luckeRRR gets aggressive on B. This aggression is actually working out really well. AmandiiNee basically has them stuck over towards A. If she spots one and can make the call, that'll be huge, but she's just waiting on the back line of this play. And I think they're starting to realize, like, hey, he went aggressive on B, spotted one. There's nothing else there. Taimou at least delivers a shot that maybe sows some confusion as it comes out and delivers a blow. But you've got the flank now coming through. AmandiiNee on the backside of the play. Happy goes down. That's big. The Sage falls. But not only that, the top player, the top performer for Team Taimou is now watching the rest of the round. And AmandiiNee playing this one patiently. I got to applaud her for that. Taking her time, waiting for this. Look at Sage 2 back in spawn. luckeRRR about to spot the Reyna as pyth picks off AmandiiNee. soulcas doesn't want to peek towards the left. As he does, though, down goes luckeRRR. That's the B site lost. They're going to start to shuffle on over to the B site as fast as they possibly can.
Really like the way that they play that from Team Taimou, having so much control of the middle, and then soulcas just getting those picks in rotation, and now it's the 2v3. They'll get that spike down, but it's still pyth. He's playing below the stairs, and up above is Kryptix, takes him down, and pipsoN sees the same fate as soulcas with the headshot takes him down, giving us a score line of 2-5. And Team Ex6TenZ, they're starting to feel the heat.
We also have an update in our other series. Team Angel won the deciding map against Team Izak off stream 13-7. Xiao, again, the ringer who came in to try and fill in. Big performance, 22-10, 22-12 for Hip, and a 21-13 for Angel. We mentioned it. That first map of the day for Angel felt so off the mark. He's since found his form and delivered time and time again for Team Angel.
Gonna be pistols here for the defense, looking to try to push forward, and a difficult round for them is ahead. Team Taimou, a heat-seeking operator, is about to push in towards the site, and it finds its mark onto Ex6TenZ. The rest of the team now left defending in a 2-2 split across both sites. This Team Taimou are working their way through on every possible choke point. Cypher's gonna pull off its pit, gonna make his way down Cat now to join the rest of his team. luckeRRR using the operator to say, Taimou, I got an op 2, baby. The boost here from Happy looking to get active and lands the headshot onto luckeRRR. Now it's the 3v4. Where are they gonna send that spike?
AmandiiNee with just a frenzy over in this corner. But there's no one present. The rest of the site is empty. The camera's going to spot AmandiiNee as she pushes through as well through the tree room. The spike again heading back towards the B site. Somehow, despite the fact that the B site is difficult to get to, they have had zero issues getting into that B site, gaining access, whether it's through B main or if it's just straight up mid and into the site. We'll see how Team Ex6TenZ adjusts, but we talked about it coming into this map. This is a defensive-sided map, and we were anticipating a strong first half for Ex6TenZ, but it's been anything but, as we've seen time and time again, exploited B and mid control that results in a round loss here for Team Ex6TenZ.
They have to be scratching their heads now at this point. They've done everything, and really, I think luckeRRR needs to be dueling with Taimou more often. If they fight for control of the courtyard, they will at least have a little bit of a better time knowing where the opposition is going. And already they're attempting at it, but soulcas, we'll say not today, takes one down for the money, but still the rest of the team not down for the count. Let's see how the rest of this round pans out.
pipsoN at least bringing things back to a 4-on-4, but only for a second, as on-screen is there with a quick response from the Vandal. The spam through the cyber cage gives away the position of Kryptix, and Taimou's going to dial it in with the operator. You've got Ex6TenZ on the other side of this smoke, sneaking into the site, trading positions with the members of the attacking team who tried to do the same thing. luckeRRR now going for the res back on catwalk, picks up AmandiiNee, brings her back into the realm of the living. luckeRRR with the operator, though, realizing that maybe it's time to call it. Back off. The res will be used for econ reasons. An econ res. Stumbled over my words there for a second. I want to say economic, but everyone calls it econ in game, and I just, you know, brain fart. I'm old, guys. I can't help myself.
Listen, I feel old, but I know that one of my friends, whenever any one of my friends in their 20s say that they feel old, my 30-year-old friend says, you guys are stupid. So all you 20-year-olds out there, you are not even close to old. Nowhere near. Attackers,
I'm getting
of course.
one.
Yeah. Taimou, another round on the board for them. Round number 9. Moving on to round number 10. 3 more remaining in the first half, getting really, really close to the end. And we alluded to the fact, time and time again, hardly an illusion if we continue to drive the point home, that this is a defender-sided map. So it's very important and actually very critical for Team Taimou to start off so strongly on attack. And when we swap over to the second half, how are Team Existence going to find these answers for, realistically, 3 choke points on the map, you know? And they're going to need to work really hard to gain some ground.
Off your feet!
There's the Rolling Thunder coming out from the defense, the aggressive play. They have to deal with this Cyber Cage around the corner. It's going to be a wall bang kill for Existence, so pyth at least taken out of the equation. But at the same point in time, we've seen those opening kills for Team Existence, and it doesn't really feel like it's often resulted in success. You've got Team Taimou currently on 7 rounds.
Yeah.
This is a score you would expect to see flipped the other direction. 7-2
Yes.
for the defense.
So far, I just feel like the defense have a little bit of a better hold. Already a member down for Team Taimou, and it was the result of a push gone wrong towards the A site. Now, team captain himself looking to corral his forces to push in towards the A side. Once again, the res is going to put the teams back up to a 5v5 standing. Now they'll find one in the corner. Orbital Strike as well, going to push them back, separate the team into 2. It's Taimou that loses his life, and soulcas going to keep that dream alive, finding 2 frags now, pushing through. It's Kryptix canceling those rotations from the pesky little offense, and now defense trying to hold on to the site. soulcas just has done a phenomenal job on the Reyna, keeping things very competitive, and now it's down to 2, trying to take control back of the site.
Lucker with the operator leading in. Kryptix just behind, tried spamming through the plywood floor, didn't connect. The spike does get planted. There's one back behind the Jenny, and there's definitely one right underneath. Nice flick down coming in from Kryptix. The ult does get popped by the Reyna. And you've got this one-on-one. Where is the Reyna, though? They can't seem to figure that out. She's right underneath. soulcas playing inside. Does Lucker drop down and hit the shot? Oh my gosh, almost got it under control, but that fast fire rate coming out from Empress makes it difficult. Doesn't give him enough time to pull the trigger. 8-2. Team Taimou just overpowering Team Existence.
Oh, 8-2. Like rough stuff here for the defense, having to put into the replay. soulcas has just been an absolute monster. Something has changed, and I really think it's the agent selection. Has been playing Raze throughout the tournament, but here and now showing us this little pocket pick on Ascent. Reyna, something that he's been playing quite well so far. Now going to be pushing in towards AC, and so far not come out anything on top. Taimou, just, you know, another day at the office, finds kill into pipsoN. AmandiiNee and Existence will try to answer back for the sins of their fallen comrade. And now, things are looking very interesting as there are gunfights across the map.
Taimou is moving up in mid with the operator. Gonna hear this rotate over. pyth gonna plant that spike over on B. There's the shot coming in from Taimou, cutting off the rotate. Kryptix now position given away by the neural theft. I mean, it just keeps getting worse and worse right now for Existence in this first half. The second half is gonna have to be magical for them on the attack. The spike's planted over on A, and Kryptix realizes with the position given away before even getting there, there's no sense going for the retake. So 9 rounds now going up on the board. And if we take a look at the scoreboard, we'll see what the credits look like coming into the next round. Yeah, that is awful. It is not going to be good coming into the final round of the first half. We might see a 10-2, double digits for Team Taimou on the attacking side of Ascent.
Yeah, not really sure what else can be said for the side of Team Existence. They've tried and tried. Unfortunately, has not been boding well for them. The coin flip, of course, I'm sure that they wish they went to Haven instead, but coin flip's a coin flip, and at the end of the day, you need to be able to play every map try to keep things competitive for you and your team. You know, some of these players, they may be looking for careers in Valorant as the scene develops. It's still early days. We say that, but it really is true. Teams are still forming, tournaments are still occurring. And being able to play every map gives you the flexibility of not being afraid of a map like Ascent.
The nade goes down to push them off the orb. But over on the B site, we've got on-screen sending out the dart. You see what he's got? It's the Odin. Knowing how those walls are so incredibly thin, wants to try and spam through and maybe take somebody down. There's the push in, the shock dart right on the money. pipsoN eats that one. pipsoN's going to push forward, and on-screen's like, okay, maybe I was having a little bit too much fun there with the Odin. But with a 9-2 scoreline, you can't blame them on an attacker side map like this. He's feeling confident. The team's feeling good. Everything's clicking. It's making sense. They're going to start to head back now towards the B site. And this is the right call. Everyone's rotated out. Everyone's over on A currently.
Team Taimou looking to put round number 10 on the board for them. Would give them a great start and a difficult lead for Team Existence to overcome in the second half. Slowly making their way towards B. A little bit of Cypher utility on the site. They'll have to break through that. That'll give them the information off to the side. It is Existence that finds the flank through the catwalk, and it's the spike that is now down. They'll be kind of scattered around as they'll push in towards varying angles, and it's defense that are picking them apart one at a time. soulcas, one of the last few remaining members standing. They're just trying to duel things out as best as possible, and really you win these duels and then you get a little bit more HP back from the Devourer. Keeps things very interesting. It's just decimation, kill after kill, but they didn't have enough time to get that spike down. And it's soulcas, as well as Happy, trying to make ends meet, but the round goes over and gives us a 3-9 scoreline moving into the second half. Let's see how this pistol pans out.
Oh, man. That is a rough half coming out for Team Existence. They're going to work with what they've got. And that will be 3 tiny little rounds in comparison to triple their rounds on the other side. I'm hopeful. I'm trying to be positive. A pistol round win might turn it around. Maybe that's how they bring it back. They win the pistol and they start charging forward with rounds. But look at that performance. pyth and soulcas, 17 kills, 14 kills, 31 kills between 2 players in 12 rounds.
Smoke's down.
Strong performance from those two. That's insane.
Quick maths. So far, attack just playing a little bit slow, tipping their hat and showing respect to the opposition. Look at Kryptix in a great position. Going to find on-screen with his pants down. He's going to have to pull them back up in the next round because he's back to the spectate screen, and now it's the 4v5. The attack have the advantage. It's Happy in one of his classic positions. Never know where he's going to end up. soulcas will answer back for the earlier kill, and now using that Leer to back away. The flash as well to answer back. Still no push from the offense. It's AmandiiNee that'll make her way through the tree room, and it's soulcas on the other side. He's got to deal with 3 members trying to push through. The shots come through, and so far it's nobody's game. The defense have to find their way back through, but it's a blast pack to the face, and the forehead feels it as soulcas goes down.
I mean, that is an absolute sucker punch to the gut. The satchel comes out. Now, Taimou is going to swing out with the Sheriff and hits a nice headshot there. The nades coming in, the paint shells going everywhere. But the paint splatters. Oh my goodness, what a shot coming in from Taimou, squeezing it through the corner of the wall. Kryptix finally offers up some support as well. It's now fallen down onto one. It's going to be pipsoN underneath. It is a round for Team Existence. They desperately needed that round. So badly they needed to pick that one up because they could not afford to surrender double digits over to Team Taimou. Hopefully it'll be a while before they do. You see the heavy investment coming out. The Bulldogs on 3. SMG for Existence. AmandiiNee hasn't bought yet, but I assume in just a moment we'll see the SMG coming out for her as well.
There.
Okay, Team Existence. You got 5 more rounds to work through. Looks like this is going to be another one on the docket, which means you'll have 4 to follow up on. Team Taimou are likely going to have the weapons to buy in the round to come. And so You got to make sure that you make this one hurt. Don't lose too many weapons. And for the side of Team Taimou, they are looking to make it hurt, make them bleed, punish them for spending, overspending maybe in some cases on the Bulldogs and the heavy armor. See how it pans out. So far, it's just on screen on the site. He's all by his lonesome. Pretty heavy investment from the attack, not really sending anyone towards Gelato. Flash is going to come through on screen, cannot land the shorty. Now pyth is going to have to play the flank as the rest of the team will look to try to stop this push in. Taimou going to be waiting off to the side, and they are already near and on the site. Taimou's going to find one. Happy going to make his way through. The Deagle connects, but it's Happy that has ended up on the ground. And it's all up to soulcas and pyth. Shorty in a dream, but unfortunately Shorty doesn't have that much range. Let's see how the retake pans out.
I mean, there's weapons down, and they're trying to go pick them up. pipsoN preventing that from being possible. Good shooting from pyth initially. Great damage dealt to AmandiiNee. Drops are low, but the round will be Ex6TenZ to take. The pistol work, it produces 1 or 2 kills, but it's not enough. 9-5, Team Ex6TenZ now carrying the guns brought in from the previous round. And you're going to see some of the investment coming out here from the defense. And no surprise here, Taimou goes to the operator. No armor, so it's a glass cannon. Light armor for Happy, potentially favoring some of the skills there on the stage.
Is where we win.
But the attack is looking awkward. They finally get the final buy-in. They'll have 2 Phantoms and 3 Bulldogs. There is a little bit of money to fall back on. So hopefully it won't hurt them too much in the end. We want a close game. We want to see that comeback yet again here from Team Ex6TenZ.
What a position from AmandiiNee. Trying to get a little bit of leverage. Look down into the fruit market. No one's having a quick slice of pizza. But on the other side, it's Happy waiting for the swing around the corner. Going to see one. Has to drop down and forego pressure that they had in mid. The smokes are going to go down. The slow orb as well. Taimou, it's got a great angle through the window. Is going to connect onto pipsoN. And that's one down for the attack already. Still going to try to look through. One's going to hop in aggressively. It's luckeRRR. And now he's got his hands on the op. The rest of the team here trying to block off the entry point towards heaven. And it's soulcas. He's on the site. One headshot connects, but it's Kryptix that'll answer back. They'll make their way with the spike, but it's the 3v3 now and the retake.
They do shatter the wall. The door's not shut. No! Happy just walks back into the site. A miscommunication coming in from the attack as AmandiiNee is now on the back end of the play. Able to find one, but Happy is still here, lurking in the shadows towards the tree room and grass. Kryptix now has to watch the push, both coming through from heaven. The reload comes in from Happy. It's an inopportune time, but Happy survives just barely. 47 HP, double digits on the board for Team Taimou.
What an expensive round, though. You know, of course, Happy's the one that ends up surviving, but will they even have enough credits to buy weapons in the following round? They spend a lot on... I mean, they've got the operator back in play, which is huge. Taimou can still make a dent with that. But on the opposing side, I mean, they really made it hurt for the defense, and we'll see how it ends up panning out. Having a quick look at the scoreboard really tells me that the attack don't really have credits across the board to spare. We're seeing a mix of a wide range, from Sheriffs to Phantoms, but it's kind of just bouncing around so far. Trying to figure out how they're going to make this one hurt, but considering it's back and forth to start us off in the second half, it's going to hurt both teams.
Early nade damage there to Happy, down to 83. The missed shot from the operator. Taimou currently cycling through on the iPad. luckeRRR getting aggressive in mid. There's the ult coming in. That was what you could see Taimou was debating doing before. There's the ult being popped as well by the Rays. Happy's going to fall. This is actually looking quite nice. It's come down to 1. It's the Brim. 5 players up currently on an eco round, no less. A 6th likely being put on the board.
Wow.
Quick flick there from Taimou. After missing the initial shot, they've got him surrounded, though. They want to take that AWP away. They want that in their possession.
Oh, the big jump peek. He's in a very difficult position. I like the crossfire set towards the door on the site. Taimou with another onto AmandiiNee. Still 3 members strong. I think they've got a couple of weapons now that they can play with, but it's going to be a deadly crossfire on the opposite side, and they will get that op back into their hands. And they're inching ever so closely to Taimou's 4-point lead. 1 round at a time is all they need to worry about. Not look at the big picture. So far, of course, Taimou in the lead, but They haven't been as dominant as they were in the first half.
That flick up was absolutely ridiculous. A raunchy shot, flick up towards Catwalk on AmandiiNee through the ice as well. And the headshot, no less. Crazy shot coming in from Taimou, who missed the initial one, going for that shot over the jump peeking, from the jump peeking raise over the ice wall. Here, we might see Existence again sneak back into the game. They were down on map number 1. They tried to bring it back, didn't work. They were down on map number 2. They did bring it back. And now they're down on map number 3. They're getting control of mid. Smoke goes down on Catwalk. Spike back towards A, but not like they have to decide to go that direction. You can see the buy coming in from the defense is not exactly optimal. There's a shorty in the hands of soulcas. There's pistols for some of the other players as well. They're going to start to work their way back towards B. There's 2 players currently defending the Sova, not the Cypher, excuse me, and the Brim. Brim's in Cubby. And the Sova's in the boathouse. They're waiting for this push to come through as they continue to get closer and closer. Look at this bank molly coming out from Taimou. I like that one. Goes towards B main. It shows that work has been done here. Molly coming out. Slow orb coming in as well. Taimou still around this corner with the default. The support now starting to arrive. The crossfire is in. Doesn't help. On screen's found 2. Has to go for the reload. The bomb buddy goes towards spawn. There's the ult coming in as well. Damage to be dealt potentially as soulcas swings out with the ult, with the devour. Now popping the ult. The Empress. Does soulcas have enough here? The fire rate's improved, but it's come down to 1. It's pyth who's trying so hard. Just trying with the classic to close things out. So much chaos on the site. Thought for a second when the ult got popped. Empress coming out from the Reyna alongside that invis, allowing them to get across. The dismissed, though, didn't really do too much. They knew the position was there. And in the end, it is going to be Existence taking the round.
One round at a time, baby. 1 round at a time. 7-10 the scoreline. Team Taimou are just trying to make their way to the end. They're just trying to crawl their way through and be the team in the group that is in the lead. And Existence are fighting tooth and nail to keep that dream alive for themselves, quite frankly. And heading into this round, it does look like the defense finally have the weaponry online, but it's slowly starting to be faltered by a difficult connection. luckeRRR gonna find Happy. soulcas will get that frag, refrag back to his team, and the resurrection will nullify that frag, and they're down 2 members for the defense. On screen, last point of contact on this site, and they'll start to funnel him through 1 at a time. They'll make their way through. He's not really sure where to look, and AmandiiNee will take him down.
They hit him with the Kansas City Shuffle. That's where you would look right and they go left. Just constantly looking the opposite direction in which they were moving. I mean, that's tough. You get stuck in that spot on that B site. There's just 2 entrances. It's really difficult. It's why you want to try to get back behind the boxes if possible. Maybe towards the arches. Doesn't work out. The timing isn't there for him. 8 rounds now going on the board. A full save from the final 2. Understandable. I mean, you've got the operator and you've got that Phantom in pyth's hands as well. You want to save that if possible. Bring it into the next round. We'll pull up the scoreboard at the end of the round as well and take a look at the money, the credits coming into the next round to see what the circumstance is going to look like for the buy. But we've got ourselves a game. It was looking like it was going to be a runaway, but Team Taimou not exactly just steamrolling over their opposition on the defense like they did on the attack.
Taimou himself trying to hold that angle towards the defender spawn. Had to back up a little bit. There's 2 members there now laying in wait, and looks like the operator will still survive towards that next round. Looking ahead, it is Team Existence that are trying to tie things back up 10-10. At the beginning of the half, it wasn't looking so good. I'll admit, it wasn't looking so good at all, but they've started to claw their way through, and they're doing so quite valiantly. Seeing Team Taimou really struggle to make ends meet, and the nickels and dimes that they've gathered over the past few rounds are not enough to have a full buy. Team Existence, however, they're rolling in the dough and looking to continue to keep rolling. Looking towards the B side this time around, and mid control. Let's see how the defense deal with it.
The recon dart early, giving away some positions. There's the bomb buddy, the Roomba, heading towards mid, sweeping for anyone that could be in those positions. The closest one is the Sova. currently in the market. There's soulcas playing from inside the cubby. Only one on the Bulldog. Shock Dart comes out from on-screen, who's got the Sheriff. Can't go too far into that smoke. There's a molly down as well. The Sage wall is going to go up. Happy stuck on the other side. Does have a wall, and you know how much Happy loves to self-boost. But for now, waiting for the rest of the team to get in position. This fight between Ex6TenZ and on-screen, a little bit awkward. The site's been lost, though. It's a 4-on-3 to retake underway here from Team Taimou.
It's just not worked out for the defense here on both sides for either team, respectively. Taimou with the operator here, just trying to get a couple of frags on his way out, and I really feel like he can be the warden here, but unfortunately for him, Prison has run amok. luckeRRR going to take him down, and it's already not looking so hot for the other team. Happy going to close the door and put himself in a very cute position. One shot going to come through. Now picks up the Vandal. He's going to play for exit frags. One shot going to come through as well. Going to put the barrier orb up behind just AmandiiNee. And that spike still ticking down. pyth now in a great position with the op. Going to try to catch one member out on the rotation, and it's going to be the Raze player. The open arms of an op. It's pyth that'll solidify that kill. And although the attack won, it was a very costly round. Thank you to Happy.
Can we pull up the scoreboard here and take a look? That felt really odd, almost like we saw a disconnect from Ex6TenZ. And yeah, there's the pause. Okay, I was like, hold on. Something happened here that's not right. Kryptix is staring at the bomb. And what is happening with Ex6TenZ? Ex6TenZ just staring into the corner. Like, you heard the door get shut. Like, you know what that sound means. Someone had to pull it, and it's not anyone on your team.
Yeah.
So it's really confusing. So I don't know if both players disconnected or what happened, if there was confusion after a disconnect came through from Kryptix. But it looks like everyone is potentially back in the server. Nope, still waiting. So, actually, I don't know if we've seen any movement from either player. We might have a DC on both. So yeah, that was very weird. And now it makes perfect sense.
Don't know if we updated the chat, but Angel going to come out with a 2-1 victory over Team Isaac. Looks like we've got, you know, Team Angel coming back a little bit more into the swing of things after a little bit of a rough start against Team Taimou. Still keeping their competitive dream alive. But the match at hand is still yet to be done. It's been one of the longer ones, I feel like. You know, a lot of internet issues this time around. But it happens. It's the way she goes. And Team Taimou just looking to try to close this out. And Ex6TenZ have been doing a great job of making that a very impossible task. Lots of credits on the opposite side. Kryptix actually sitting on 9,000. Of course, he's going to buy quite a bit, but he's at the money cap, and it wouldn't surprise me if some other members get there in a round or two.
Just waiting for the reconnect. Not sure what occurred. Whether it was a power issue or an ISP issue. PC crash. We have no idea. All we know is Kryptix was staring at the spike in the B site. I look at that round, though, and I say, thank God that that happened after the spike was planted. Could you imagine if it happened and that player is carrying the spike? And you're in a situation where your opponent is going to save? Like, you basically have to run them down and hope you can find them.
Yeah. He would just be staring at the ground with the spike in his hand. And there would be no way. I mean, you could molly him if you want. Like, you could try to take him down, right? Like, you could try to... I don't know. I don't know what really you could do other than kill him, but that would be a TK, and I don't really know if you, in that case if they had the utility to do that, right? So, but still, nevertheless, a really close one here. Very, very close between these two teams. Very similar to what we saw in yesterday's broadcast. Mixwell versus Zerator. Zerator coming back swinging on split and making that run all the way to map number 3, keeping these very competitive. Of course, Mixwell ended up coming out back on top, but this could be one of those stories here, you know, Team Taimou versus Team Ex6TenZ. It's a pretty interesting battle.
Yeah, I mean, that Zerator game, they went to OT, and it ended up being a 1v1, no less. Mixwell versus Chihuahua. Chihuahua goes through the window towards Heaven on A, and Mixwell is playing backside with the gun in the corner, trying to prevent the gun from being spotted, waiting for the plant to come through. There was only like 16 seconds left in that round as well, so Chihuahua had to make the move. It is unfortunate here that we have this tech issue, but hopefully we'll be jumping back into the game as well, because it is a close game and it is exciting. Maybe not necessarily as flashy. There's less pizzazz like we saw on Split, which was 4K after 4K after 4K, and then an ace, and then more 4Ks. It was a lot of individually strong plays. Here it feels like it's more just spread out, defaulting, a lot of one-on-ones. Not necessarily a lot of chain kills going on. We've had a few rounds like that, but it hasn't been that way. And a large part of that is just that in the first half, it did feel a little bit awkward, and it's kind of spilling out into the second half as well. This map is defense-sided, at least currently, the way that it's played. Maybe these teams are making a case for it to be attack-sided, but I feel like both teams are just struggling to wrap their minds around how to play defense on the map.
Yeah, and you're really seeing that by the scoreline. Of course, Team Existence had a little bit of a rough start in the first half, but then somehow are starting to turn up the heat on the attacker side, and that might be the case here. I mean, earlier on, I feel like we saw a lot of defender-sided feelers out, and maybe just the way that Riot's going to release maps, they'll at least feel defender-sided to start, but then once, you know, thousands and thousands of games play out, it'll start to level out into what exactly it should feel like. So, Ascent, not looking so hot right now for Team Taimou, up against with their back against up the ropes. It's not looking good, and they are obviously competing for the 2-0 start in the group. Only 2 more best of 3s after that, and
one more.
Oh, sorry. Well, 1 on stream, 1 off stream. Still 2 more best of 3s. Yeah.
The final round of the group stages will be played right after this. That's the crazy thing, right? Like, I feel like we've already had so much action. We've still got another best of 3 coming up after this, the final best of 3 of the day. Originally, it was scheduled to be Taimou versus Isaac. So we'll be seeing that game potentially at the end of the day after this series concludes, following Team Taimou all the way through the groups. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that we have to have some technical issues. Hopefully we'll get back into that game in a moment. Looking at Ascent in general, I'm loving watching the way that the meta develops. Yesterday we saw a lot of Omen play. In general, we saw Omen across the board yesterday. Here we're seeing more Brim. Today it's been mostly Brim. And then when we switched over to this map, you saw the Reyna come in, and it kind of feels like, okay, you could probably bring in an Omen and play basically Reyna and Brim to a certain extent. You get the flash and you get the smokes. It's the reason why we've got the Omen being so strong. But we are going to go ahead and throw things to a break. We won't bore you guys with what we have to say for too long. Hopefully we won't be away for too long, and we'll be jumping back into map number 3 to see who's going to be moving on 2-0 in the groups. Either it's going to be Team Existence or it's going to be Team Taimou. Stay tuned and we'll return in just a bit.
Between the eye. Gone. Revealing area.
And we're right back into the action. It's like we never left. 10-9. One round separating Team Taimou and Team Existence. It was 9-3 at half. So this is a strong comeback coming in from Team Existence.
Still going to continue their momentum, trying to tie us up here 10-10. It's the defense that are doing their best at holding them back, but so far it has not been a good half for them. Has been giving a lot of opportunity to make this map a little bit more defender-sided, or at least make it feel a little bit more attacker-sided based on the results of these two halves. So far, Team Existence now looking towards A. They've got the op in play as well from luckeRRR. Now they'll push in together. It's going to be a 4-stack going in through the tree room. It's the Hunter Sphere looking to try to stop them. It'll be a couple of tags here and there, and on-screen will find one, but unfortunately for soulcas, he'll find himself on the other end of AmandiiNee's bullets, and already kills traded back and forth, but still no spike on the site.
Taimou up in heaven right now with the operator as well on screen. Trying to hold down the tree room. There's the fight. The Cypher losing to the Sova. That's the spike falling as well. An interesting decision to continue to fight for this A site after the early exchanges. The B site's been lost. It's been a full rotate out from B, and they actually faked the rotate over to a certain degree. Here comes the flash. Time is of the essence. There goes the spike round over. Nothing they can do about that one as on-screen hits a 4K on the round. Really strange round coming in after the break. We were talking about it actually during the break. A weird lack of presence towards mid, and then they go for that full stack up catwalk with a bunch of players taking that fight towards tree room, and it's more of a passive play from Team Taimou, and it works out nicely for them.
Looking at the performance on the scoreboard, Kryptix and soulcas on the tippity top for their respective teams. Of course, luckeRRR is tied, and we talked a little bit before how Team Existence feels a little bit more well-rounded than any team we've seen so far in this group. Just all really playing their part, doing the most that they can where they can. Team Taimou, however, have a little bit more of a disparity between the team members, and so far in this match, it's been soulcas that has been playing the Reyna to great effect. Taimou playing a little bit aggressively. The peak is going to pay off, and Kryptix will be the one that is taken down, opening up the round for the defense. Possibilities to put this to match point, but so far it's still 4 strong that can get the job done.
pypsoN trying to move towards A. Gonna have to deal with Pit, who's right around the corner. There is a cyber cage there waiting. Right now, it feels like Team Existence is kind of scratching their heads, waiting for anything, some kind of tell to come in. And that's what they were hoping for, an opening. They win that battle to one-on-one. There's the ult in towards the A site. There's actually no one there, though. You've got Pit right around the corner playing towards the door. Pit's stuck in this corner. There's the counter ult coming out from the brim to slow them down. They walk right into Pit as a result. They had to. No choice. Pit finds 3. A 12th round likely here as it's down to just 1. It's Existence, the IGL, taken out in the end by Happy. 12 rounds now for Team Taimou. They paused for a moment, but they found themselves back in the victory lane. And they're now just 1 round away from closing out map number 3. 3 opportunities for Existence to force overtime.
Yeah, look at the buys here coming in from Team Existence. Not really the best place considering you've lost 2 straight now. Off of the back of a back and forth half, they're not looking so great. Of course, there's a couple of assault rifles that are in the mix. Well, in theory, they're all assault rifles, but the Bulldogs are not as optimal as what the defense have cooking up. Of course, the operator in play for Taimou, and they're going to look for another aggressive peek through the fish market, but they'll back away once they hear a couple of those footsteps towards the Kench bench, and Pit, just the hero, all of a sudden, just turning it on. The cape is there, and Clark Kent is ready to save the day.
Yet again, Team Existence operating with a disadvantage. And oh no, Pit's on the flank. He's going to spot everything. He's got all the intel. Starts peppering him up from behind. He's made the call to the team on screen now, trying to work through as well. That's the Vandal opening up. It all falls down to AmandiiNee. She's going to try her best, but it's a 1-on-4. It seems almost unwinnable with just a Bulldog and a single satchel charge. She has to try to make this one work. Recon Dart's going to go just a bit too far, and there it is. Team Taimou closing out map number 3, 13